Coming up next, the NJC Focus with your host, Pastor Jermaine Johnson.
The NJC Focus is brought to you by the North Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, serving the parishes of St. Anne and Trelawney. The NJC Focus, bringing you the latest happenings in North Jamaica Conference.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to this, the premiere edition of the NJC Focus. I'm your host, Pastor Jermaine Johnson. The NJC Focus brings you the latest happenings across the North Jamaica Conference and the wider Seventh-day Adventist Church organization. Subsequent to this edition, the NJC Focus will be brought to you every second and fourth Friday right here on the North Jamaica Conference of SDA YouTube channel. So subscribe today. Stay tuned while we bring you some updates as to what has been taking place since the beginning of March 2018. I'll be right back. And now for the latest updates across the North Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. New NJC leaders installed. NJC Treasurer conducts Week of Prayer at Adventist School. Hundreds celebrate life of beloved pastor. The North Jamaica Conference Ministerial Fraternity empowers students in several schools. The third quadrennial session of the North Jamaica Conference, held on February 21 and 22, 2018 at the NJC campsite in Duncan's Trelawney, saw several leaders elected to serve for the quadrennium 2018 through 2022.
Dr. Carl Archer was asked to serve as president for the third time, whereas Dr. Astor Bowers was called to the field to serve as executive secretary. Elder Dane Ellis was returned as treasurer. And besides the departments held by the officers, several directors were chosen, including Pastor Mowbray Lewis, Pastor Amiel Somerville, Elder Christine Shand of the Chester congregation in St. Anne's Bay, along with Pastor Carlington Hilton and Pastor Jermaine Johnson. President Brown charged the new leaders to be servants of God's people and not self-interest. Treasurer of North Jamaica Conference, Elder Dane Ellis, was the main speaker for the annual Week of Prayer service at the St. Anne's Bay High and Preparatory School owned by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in North Jamaica Conference. Under the theme, The Child Who Came to Save the World, Elder Ellis brought much words of inspiration to inspire the children of both the preparatory and the high school into a closer relationship with God. And on a very sad note, former Executive Secretary of North Jamaica Conference, Pastor Umri Davis, was laid to rest in a convention-style funeral service last Sunday at the West Jamaica Conference Center in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Hundreds gathered from across Jamaica, the Caribbean, and diaspora to pay their last dues to the beloved pastor who passed on February 13 of this year. He was later interred at the Hillview Cemetery in Montego Bay, left to mourn our wife, Jermaine, and sons Theodore, Timothy, and Caris. We continue to crave your prayers for the Davis family.
Loving Father, and more. But let us remember the word of the Lord as is recorded in St. John 11 and verse 25. I am the resurrection and the life.
The North Jamaica Conference Ministerial Fraternity, in keeping with its scheduled activity for this month, Pastors Go to School, went out on a mission to impact several schools. The schools included the Brownstown High School in St. Anne, the Holland High School in Trelawney, and the Craighead Primary School in Manchester. The pastors included our President, Pastor Amiel Somerville, and several others who split themselves among these institutions. Several students were motivated. Here are some of the highlights.
Left them. And they were just pulling apart, keep pulling apart, going in opposite direction while the food was here. We're not all that wonderful. All right? There were persons there who might have been wonderful persons, but
well, today our devotion, the message was real touching. I was blessed because yes, in life we're going to have situations situation where persons will step on you, crush you, and all sort of stuff, but you must indeed be like an eagle, because even though sometimes you will feel left out and all sort of stuff, but if you try and try hard to become like an eagle, then you're going to go higher and higher and succeed in life.
Good morning. My name is Arthur Cox, guidance counselor from the Brownstone High School. It was indeed a great impact this afternoon in having ministers from the North Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Church coming in to do an intervention to our students. It was great. A great impact was done, and we are expecting to have more of these interventions and work with our children who are going through difficult and challenging times.
Now we have Mrs. Reed. She's the principal for the Holland High School. Mrs. Reed, it was a wonderful pleasure being here today.
It was for us as well. It really was for us. Because we know that over time we have had your prayerful support. And when you come to share with the students, it means a lot. Because for one, it is a Christian institution. And we want to remind them that the Bible is their point of reference. And so it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Reed. Have a wonderful rest.
You too, you too.
I'm feeling good based on Pastor Hilton's story of his past. He has encouraged us that no matter the obstacles in life, there will always be a future.
Thank you so much, Kamala. Have a wonderful day.
Meanwhile, Director of Communication, Education and Music, Pastor Jermaine Johnson, stopped by the Craighead Primary School in Manchester to motivate the students who are preparing for their GSAT examinations next week. Elder Paulette Ambersley, retired conference director, has lost her mother at the age of 103. The funeral service will be held at the Seventh-day Adventist Church,
Grovetown, Manchester,
on April 8 at 11 a.m. Kindly support the family with your prayers at this time of bereavement. And now for our upcoming events. This Sunday, March 18 at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Falmouth, beginning at 9 a.m. will be the Trelawney Convention. The following week, March 25 at the Exchange Church, will be the St. Anne Convention. Also on April 15, 2018, across the conference, the officers of the North Jamaica Conference are calling for conference-wide prayer and fasting that we may seek God more fully and ask for His guidance as we go through another quadrennium. All churches are asked to make arrangements to participate in this special initiative that will help us to draw closer to God even as we move forward in completing His mission. These are the latest updates in the North Jamaica Conference, and until another edition on Friday, March 30, 2018, I'm Jermaine Johnson. Happy Sabbath.
NJC Focus is brought to you by the North Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, serving the parishes of St. Anne and Trelawney.